You might think the people in Frostpunk 2, who are living in what is basically a huge fridge at the end of the world, would know something about pain. Well, that was before they met me. Hi, I'm Amon, and I tried making these people even more miserable than they already are. We've been roaming the frozen desert for years. Many of us don't remember a world before the Great Frost, but our numbers have grown throughout the years. Providing for everyone is getting harder and harder. Don't worry, I will provide you with all you could possibly need. So, our first order of business is to make some houses. People don't want to stay outside when it's minus 20 degrees Celsius. What a bunch of pussies. But no one said where I have to build those houses, so I'm building them on a cliff. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. There we go. I'm sure nothing's gonna happen to that little platform of yours up here. I'm sure no one's gonna fall to their deaths here. This is perfectly safe. Looks like we've struck oil in our backyard. This means we won't have to work a single day in our life anymore. But don't worry, these people will work because they want to work, not because they have to. Oh, Mr. Finan Kell, 42, a gardener, says, we're probably not gonna have enough food to last us for the winter, so we either need to pull emergency shifts or tighten our belts. Both sound very tempting. Well, then we'll do both.
Mining ain't for sissies.
Tighten your belts. We are in for a ride. Tria Clankhorn says, some people are ready to sacrifice themselves to lower the food required. See everyone, this is how you should be part of a community. She's ready to sacrifice herself. Well done, Tria. Your sacrifice will be remembered. And now you're getting X'd. Looks like Mr. Aidan here is shocked at the sight of seals. Oh, and he wants to supplement the food production with seals. Well, Aidan sees this as a win-win situation. We are not gonna starve, and we're gonna be able to kill a bunch of innocent animals. Now this is how you win at the apocalypse. Oh, and now we found a dead man in the snow. Looks like he didn't manage to get to the seals on time, but that's okay. Oh, and he has a uniform. Let's see, the uniform can symbolize order, fate, or I have no idea. No, we are always for law and order here. New London is a city of discipline that follows strong leadership, and where militant squads keep the peace. That sounds like a utopia. Yeah, that's where I want to live. We have military that keeps the peace. So, we have arrived at the cross point. We are not gonna have enough food, so we are either killing all the seals or killing our elders. Unfortunately, there is no do both button, but let's say we kill the seals now, and then our elders will live to suffer another day. Yeah, let's do that. Kill those seals. Food production has significantly increased due to indiscriminate seal slaughtering. What is discriminate seal slaughtering then? Well, as long as there are seals being slaughtered, I don't care. Okay people, we didn't slaughter all those seals for nothing. It's time to start freezing. Why are you complaining? This is only a mildly uncomfortable minus 90 degrees Celsius. Things are gonna get so much worse in the future. If you're complaining now, maybe you should have sacrificed yourself like the elders did. We survived the end of the world. Now what? Now you have to survive me. Now that's a cool city. A city where we can do a lot of damage. Food is low, overpopulation looms, coal is running out. All my favorite things to hear. The captain is dead. Long live the captain. Now it's time to introduce some order into this city. Now let's get to work. As you know, the first thing you need to do in a city is build a council hall. The seat of our power. And now it's time for the first council session. First, I need to secure my position as the emperor of this city. I haven't really done anything yet, so people are not pissed at me yet. Now let's use this good show of faith to become Emperor.
The delegates have spoken. The law takes effect.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I have become their god. Looks like the people are freezing. I haven't turned on the generator yet, and the people are starting to complain. Which I understand, but I have the burden of leadership on my hand. And the people don't know that this is actually a good thing. The cold builds character. So we are keeping it off. I've turned on the generator for a single minute. And we already have a child. See, this is why I wanted him to stay cold. Very well, Lily May. May your life be warm and winds spare your paths. Oh, that's not gonna happen. You can be sure. I'm only pressing this button because there is no other button to press. But Lily May, your life will be full of cold and suffering.
Steward, hear us.
Looks like people are arguing what to do with our new coal mines. Well, don't worry, that's why the Emperor is here. Show me our options. So, we have two options. Either we do dust coal mining, or we can do blasting coal mine. Explosive drilling to rapidly exploit coal deposits, generating noxious fumes. So we get to blow shit up and make people sick in the process. My oh my. I know what we're gonna be going for. Do it. Well, I just granted these people their agenda. But you didn't think this was free, now did you? No. It's time to raise some funds. You know, for security's sake. Don't you worry. All of these are going towards legitimate projects. And not in my back pocket, okay? Alrighty, let's see what upgrades up next. Sawmills. So we can either do untreated sawmill, which speeds up the process but exposes people to mold spores and fungi. I don't even care what the other thing is. We are exposing people to mold, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, let's see what our first order of business is gonna be. We can do some food additives. So we are going with either only natural ingredients in our food, or we do some chemical additives. I think you know what I'm gonna go for. The city will approve chemical additives with tested and tolerable risk levels. That's my favorite phrase, tolerable risk levels. Love it. Time to vote. And here we go. We are adding chemicals to our food, as all things should be. Feral children. No common rules. Steward, 5 children are dead and dozens lay wounded. Nice. After 2 large youth gangs met for what they called a rumble. Most of the children were armed with knives. Well, what were they supposed to do? Come into a rumble unarmed? The fighting escalated to a full-scale battle. As it should. The backstreet alleys seem to be overtaken by uncared for youth. Some areas are beginning to be dangerous, even for adults. Well done, kids. Well done. I mean, look at those kids smiling. They are obviously having a really good time. So why would we do anything to change that? Let's keep those smiling faces going. Okay, the game keeps bugging me to do something with the children, so I'm gonna do something with the children. So we are either doing a family apprenticeship or a mandatory school. I mean, I just saw the first 4 words in this sentence, all children must work, and I just automatically pressed it. This is it. There we go. Children are working now. Active worker count increased. Infectious agents. The first crack. A small group of Frostlanders refuse to be assessed. I mean, who doesn't like to be regularly medically checked? We are doing this, ladies and gents. Nell Sinkfield, 38, housewife. Worried about her son, looking for a culprit. Little Joey's been coughing all night. His forehead's as hot as the generator. Oh, please, Lord Almighty. I can't stand to lose another child. Someone's gotta get through to them. Don't worry, Nell. We will cover your kid's funeral costs. You are welcome. Our next law is contagion prevention. So we either get to supported quarantine, where contagious people will be placed in quarantine and cared for by the city in a dedicated accommodation. Disgusting. Or, oh, and this is much more fun. Contagious people will be required to wear a specific badge that allows others to limit their interactions with them if they deem it appropriate. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is the ultimate form of torture. An I am sick badge. I love it. This is amazing. Let's do this. Next up, welfare. Basic necessities. So we can either do free essentials.
What do I owe you? Nothing. It's for free. Free!
No, ma'am. Citizens will be charged a small fee in exchange for essentials. Love it. That's the way to go. Cutthroat economy. Paid essentials. So we can either allocate an allowance to those in need or let them fend for themselves. Allocate an allowance to those in need? What do you think this is? A state where people have rights? Charity? Ugh. You're fending for yourself, bro. So, the stalwarts can mobilize enforcements. The stalwarts will field elite squads of guards to be used at the steward's discretion. Love it. I'm gonna be discreet with my guards and turn this into a police state soon. Oil tombs. So we can either remove bodies or we can respect the dead. You know what I'm gonna go for. Deposits are running low. So we can either use explosives to access deeper veins of coal, or we can send children. I mean, I like explosions as much as the next guy, but the game offers us to send children down there. Of course I'm going to do that. Fire in the shaft. Coal is running out. Fire has broken out in the coal mine. If we don't react, we'll lose the mine along with the deposit. So we can either block off air supply and kill the child miners. Sorry, this is too funny. Or we can save them and destroy the mine in the process. No, we are blocking off air supply. Goodbye, kids. George Fairweather. His occupation is being a cripple. He's missing his little sister. Well, don't worry, George. We saved the blasting coal mine from the fire. Unwanted destiny. Family apprenticeship. A father has come to our offices with his son. They both ask you to hear them out. This boy is not cut out to be a blacksmith, said the father. His knack is for words. Poetry. I can bend steel, but he can stir souls. I'm sorry, but we do not need poetry at the end of the world. I'm sure you'll learn blacksmithing eventually. Stay firm. Alrighty, now let's talk about work compensation. Either we're gonna do equal pay, or efficiency bonuses. Equal pay also includes women, so we're not doing that. Efficiency bonuses. That's the one. And now it's time to put the fun in funerals. Either we can do ceremonial funerals, where bodies must be buried untouched. Or we can do the more fun option of harvesting people's organs. Oh my god. The deceased will be harvested and their healthy body parts used to support city healthcare. Unharvested remains will be incinerated and the ashes transferred to relatives. This is insane. Love it. Love it. Go. Oh yeah. We are starting to incinerate people. So, next we're doing labor organization. So we can either have mandatory unions, and who the hell thought this was a good idea, by the way? Mandatory unions. Unions are a bad idea by themselves. Mandatory unions. That would imply that in my city workers have rights. And you saw me send children to the mines, didn't you? Or we can do labor oversight. I mean, yeah, obviously. We have to watch people. They all have to work. No stragglers. Labor oversight it is. Oh, and we have alcohol. So we can either have city-run alcohol shops, or we can privatize the alcohol sector. Now, a city that runs alcohol shops, that's a city I want to live in. The next thing I want to influence as the god of this city is parenthood. So we can either have communal parenthood, where parents give away their children to city-run facilities. Love it. To ensure their well-being, leaving them free to concentrate on the needs of the city. Incredible. Or we can have dedicated motherhood. Women who bear children will be permanently spared from other duties. Seriously? This is not what this city represents, okay? Sparing women. Are you insane? No, we're gonna give away our children. So the city can raise them. Coughing fits. Heat recycling. We have noticed a rise in chronic lung conditions after we started pumping recycled heat into our housing districts. We could install filters to block out the fumes, but this would reduce the amount of heat we recycle. What do you say? No. Power through, man. As I said, the colder it is, the stronger you'll be. After we've controlled people's parenthoods, now it's time to control their relationships. So we can either have relationship rotations. With our species on the brink of extinction, we will assign people new partners regularly. Nice. Marriage is the bedrock of society. Mandatory marriage. Requires all citizens of age to be married. Well, that's actually not bad, but man, relationship rotation. If I'm making a utopia, this is how it's gonna start. And next, I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna treat people in my city. So I can either do a conservative treatment. Doctors must abide by the traditional oath of first do no harm. Boring. Or we can do some experimental treatments. Well, I'm always one for progress. Plus, the do no harm thing doesn't apply at the end of the world. Hearts out of rotation. A woman has come forward to complain about her rotation partner. I've compared our medical records, references, and diet restrictions. We are a scientifically ideal match. Good for you. Yet he refuses to follow our dating itinerary. Oh, this is indeed a perfect society. And insists on sneaking off to spend his evenings with his previous, less compatible partner. It's completely illogical. You are right, woman. It completely is. So our options are, we can either sever ties with the previous partners or refuse to interfere with people's intimate life. I mean, I have made a law that people have to rotate their partners. Obviously, I'm not gonna refuse to interfere with people's intimate lives. I mean, I literally have one choice. All must sever ties with previous partners. Next up, we have to find a way to deal with our dissidents. So we're doing prisons. So we can either do isolation prison, a punitive prison, which has built-in equipment to discipline criminals and re-educate them using corporeal punishment. Sounds pretty good. Or we can do a thought correction prison. A prison with therapy wings, and I love the quotation marks here, utilizing innovative methods to cure criminals from their impulses and rehabilitate them as functional members of society. So, electroshock therapy. Yeah, this is what we're doing. Next up, to establish a prosperous and peaceful society, I'm opening a Bureau of Propaganda. To foster cohesion, the steward's voice will be broadcast throughout the city. For that, I'm gonna have to grease some councilman wheels, but we'll get there. Let's see, if I fund some projects for the Frostlanders, I think we can do this. It should be enough. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bureau of Propaganda has been opened. And of course, the next step in my rule is establishing a secret police. To identify and neutralize opponents, a dedicated force will keep watch on the city population. See, almost everyone wants me to establish a secret police. This is democracy at work, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's time to make some hothouses. We can either make a bio-waste hothouse, where organic waste ferments in large vats, or we can do a chemical hothouse, where chemical nutrients are injected into tubs of crops. Mmm, yummy. Mommy, can we have some chemical nutrients, please? After establishing a secret police, now it's time to establish martial law. The steward may declare martial law, during which guards will erect checkpoints to enforce a curfew and curtail all illicit activities. Love it. And again, no one's even opposing me. I've been such a good ruler that they don't care that I have taken all their rights. Oh man, being a dictator is so much fun. Sabotage in Winterhome. Some colonists have begun sabotaging our efforts. How dare they? Now, to stop this, we can either build watchtowers, or we can enact public executions. I think I know what we're gonna do. Those hardened criminals need to learn their place. This is the city I want to live in, with public executions. Hardened criminals will be publicly executed. All citizens will be required to attend to celebrate our just society. Oh yeah, you're gonna celebrate hanging people. Love it. Love it. This is it. Oh, look at the blood. People are ready for change. We will not have it. I will still remain the emperor of this city. I promise you. I have three options. I can banish the wrongdoers, I can reconciliate, or I can enforce order. I think you know which one I'm going for. It's time to enforce order. There are riots in the city, so I have decided to deploy my personal guard to stop them. Now I can tell them to forcefully quell the protesters, or I can enforce peace. Peace through firepower. Okay, now I think it's time to cement my position as god of this city. Captain's authority. For the good of the city, the steward will be named captain and granted increased authority on the council. Everyone will address you as captain. Love it. Trust will no longer be a problem. Of course, I'm a trustworthy god. Voting will no longer be the problem. How to surpass democracy 101. For the good of the people, for the good of me, it is time to become emperor. Now I finally know what Palpatine felt like when he made himself emperor.
In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire for a safe and secure society.
The council has declared you captain, and so now you control the council. You have effectively seized all powers to make laws in the city. Love it. Trust will never decrease. The council votes however you wish. Love it. The next upgrade I'm gonna go for is guard immunity. Guards will be allowed to employ any means necessary, however extreme, to catch and neutralize criminals. All is as it should be. And now it's time to secure my rule. Now we will end all active conflicts. The time of the captain, emperor, and god of this city has come. Wait, why isn't it working? Oh, requires 45 guard squads. Okay then, I'll just recruit a couple more. Okay, but now is my time, for real. Securing your rule. Path of order. The guards have begun their task of enforcing your rule throughout the city. All civil rights have been suspended. Love it. No warrants or probable cause tie your guards' hands. A utopia indeed. Anyone opposing your ascendancy is quickly dealt with. The fighting will soon end. Your peace is at hand. My will be done. I love it. Now, these two factions can't stand each other, so the only reasonable thing to do is to make an enclave for one, and then make an enclave for the other, right next to it. Now, these are enclaves, but they're effectively prison yards. We're making a watchtower in each one of them. No more dissidents. No more disorder. It is time to end the civil war. So we can either have high security enclaves. Enclave dwellers have no rights and are lucky not to be in prison. I mean, they effectively are, but okay. Every morsel we accord them is a gift. Love it. Or comfortable enclaves. Isolation should benefit all citizens. Even enclave dwellers. No. High security. No rights and are lucky not to be in prison. This is what I like. You have united the city under your firm rule as the captain. All forces which could have opposed you have been eliminated. The city will survive, united as one. My utopia. Our wayward city needed a single voice to obey, a firm hand to take it by the neck. And now, like the sea to the stars, the city is pulled to you, warm in your light. We will follow any course you chart, Captain. The city stands. You took matters into your own hands. The captain lives again. Bickering factions finally contained. 8,000 public executions, my god. How long will it last when you're gone, Captain? Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. The age of torture has only begun.